Hello, good morning, good afternoon. I think good afternoon is the better address today because quite a lot of participants are coming from the Asian Pacific region. It's such a great pleasure to see you here today at the webinar we are organizing together with Meet Taiwan. We all know that Meet Taiwan has been quite active in sustainability since over a decade, and now that Net Zero Carbon Events has produced quite a lot of guidance documents and additional framework on how to address sustainability. I think it really makes sense to understand how Meet Taiwan is implementing all this in practice. You might have heard that Meet Taiwan has produced a white paper on sustainability, and we are all quite eager to understand more how our partners in Taiwan have done it, what kind of challenges they might have experienced, and how all this benefits our overall goal to go greener and to implement eco-friendly practices. So I'm very, very happy to organize this webinar together with Meet Taiwan today. Thank you so much for coming all and for spending your hour together with us this afternoon, this morning. Just for your information, if you would turn off your mics, that will be really great. You would have an opportunity to ask your questions afterwards. After the presentations are done, we will certainly have a Q&A session. So whenever you would have any questions you would like to raise, that will be given in a bit of time after the presentations are finished. So thanks a lot. And I would like to give the floor to Cynthia. Cynthia, if you could address the participants as well. Thank you.
President of GEMIC, Mr. Rees, and all friends participating in this webinar, hello everyone. I'm very delighted that we have been invited by the GEMIC to jointly organize this webinar on sustainable MICE industries. The International Trade Administration, known as TAITRA, under the Ministry of Economic Affairs, is the competent authority for Taiwan's MICE industry. Over the past 10 years, Taiwan has dedicated much effort in developing a path towards a sustainable MICE industry, and we look forward to sharing our experiences and working more closely with our international partners to make our respective MICE industries more sustainable. To assist Taiwanese MICE industry more aware of the importance of sustainability, TAITRA has been fully engaged with our stakeholders and carbon reduction experts to offer customized consultations and advice to MICE industry operators. Most importantly, we have integrated GEMIC's 5 priority action areas into our guidance for helping the MICE industry to reduce carbon emissions. The 5 priority action areas include travel, freight and logistics, food and food waste, energy, and production and waste. Since last year, we've helped 44 MICE Taiwanese operators and exhibitors reduce 244 metric tons of carbon with an average reduction of 75%. For example, at this year's Computex, the world's largest computer show, with help of renowned manufacturer to incorporate the 3R principles of recycle, reuse, and reduce. It used the eco-friendly P-Tex fabric to decorate its booth instead of using the PVC one. After the event, the P-Tex fabric was turned into pencil cases as gifts to kids in the rural areas. At another exhibition, paperboard was used for decorations. A low-carbon dinner was served. This show successfully reduced more than 100 tons of carbon, achieving a 66% of reduction. Additionally, we have set up a web page where the viewer can scan the QR code to access to a carbon footprint calculator. We have also designed an assessment system exclusively for the MICE industry. By completing a few questions, the viewer can instantly receive a customized analysis and recommendation report. We believe that through such guidance and assistance efforts, we will inspire our MICE industry to be more creative, and they will contribute even more for a sustainable environment. So let's work together for more sustainable MICE industries in the future. I wish you all the best and much success in your endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's really a great opportunity to learn, and I believe that Lily would go ahead with the presentation. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you.
And as I have mentioned, we will certainly address all the questions afterwards, after the presentations are done, but you already can put them in the chat. It's not a problem at all. Thank you so much, and welcome, Lily and Rosa. Great to see you again.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rosa from Taiwan MICE Project Office. And I'm Lily. Today we are excited to share with you the journey of how Meet Taiwan has been promoting sustainable practice in MICE industry. Sustainability has been a core part of our work for more than a decade, and we have achieved several key milestones, and it's fascinating to see how we structure our approach. But Lily, if you have to sum it up, what would you say the focus of our efforts? Well, the core theme, our journey to net zero, reflects our efforts in promoting sustainability and carbon reductions within Taiwan MICE industry. This journey, driven by the Meet Taiwan project, sponsored by the Taiwan International Trade Administration, aims to guide the MICE industry toward a net zero future through various strategies and actions. Yes, and this journey has been ongoing for more than a decade, as I mentioned. We divide our efforts into two main areas, breadth and depth. So Lydia, could you explain what we mean by breadth? Why it is so important? Of course, breadth refers to our wide-ranging initiatives aimed at promoting sustainability. This includes publishing the Taiwan MICE Sustainability White Paper, supporting stakeholders in obtaining international certifications, and much more. And then we talk about the depth. We are focusing on reducing carbon emissions. This includes our roadmap and the development of Product Category Rules, PCR, under the Ministry of Environment of Taiwan and other related efforts. Lily, how do these two aspects work together to drive our vision forward? It's a great question. Both aspects are crucial because they provide a comprehensive approach to sustainability. Breadth makes sure we are covering all the key areas, while depth let us concentrate on the crucial task of reducing carbon. Rosa, what are the main actions we've taken to make Taiwan MICE industry more sustainable? Well, on the sustainability front, we have been very comprehensive. We understand that sustainability is not just about environmental concerns. It also encompasses social and governance issues like diversity, health and safety, risk management, and transparency. And that's why we published the Taiwan MICE Sustainability White Paper with WUFI in 2022, which provides clear guidance for all our stakeholders in the industry. And these efforts are not just ideas. They are making a real difference. For instance, our sustainable demonstration exhibitions have shown stakeholders how sustainable practice can be put into actions. Rosa, you notice how these exhibitions have become benchmarks for this industry. That's right. For example, at this year, the 2024 Taiwan International Fastener Show, we implemented sustainable demonstration exhibition that achieved significant success in carbon reduction. The event organizer invited exhibitors to sign a sustainable development advocacy, provided them with the guideline, and even offset some of the carbon emissions to support energy-saving projects for disadvantaged groups. I think it's a real milestone. We also have MICE companies compete
for prestigious awards, such as the UFI Sustainability Awards or the ICA Best Marketing Award. This has really elevated Taiwan's standing in the global MICE industry. And last one, Rosa, could you talk about how MICE industry get international certifications?
Yeah, we have supported stakeholders in obtaining internationally recognized sustainability certifications like ISO 20121. These certifications help our stakeholders to meet global expectations. For example, we help Taipei International Convention Center, which is also known as TICC, obtain ISO 14064 Part 1. And we also assisted another convention center, ICC Tainan, in achieving ISO 50001. Over the past decades, our efforts have resulted in totally 36 ISO certifications and 2 ESG reports. It's impressive that this support helps small and medium-sized companies, even though they don't have to do it by law right now. And Lily, do you think it highlights how dedicated we are to helping everyone in MICE industry?
Absolutely. By providing this support, we're not just helping the industry meet global standards. We are making sure they keep up with the growing expectations of eco-friendly customers and partners.
And speaking of comprehensive strategies, let's talk about the depths, specifically our approach to reducing carbon emissions. There are most impactful results in this area.
All right. Depths is where we have made significant strides. Our goal has been to enhance the carbon reduction capabilities of all MICE industry stakeholders. We started this initiative last March, and so far, we have helped 124 companies reduce a total of 244,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Rosa, do you think this is the key to success?
Yes, it is about providing the right tools and resources. We introduced a simple carbon calculator that allows all our stakeholders to easily measure and understand emissions from their business events. This tool makes the carbon reduction accessible to everyone in the industry. But we never stop here, right?
Exactly. We also established the PCR standard under the Ministry of Environment of Taiwan, making it easier for MICE industry to report their carbon footprint. This is crucial to ensuring that our efforts have a lasting impact.
And we also introduced the MICE carbon footprint and evaluation system, which has been essential in this process. This system allows stakeholders, including event organizers, contractors, and venues, to select criteria for calculating the top 5 priority areas highlighted by JMIC. These areas are travel, food and food waste, freight and logistics, energy, and production and waste. It's a powerful tool helping the whole industry make smarter and more sustainable choices.
Additionally, we offer a carbon reduction capability assessment feature. This feature allows MICE industry to complete a questionnaire and receive a customized report with suggestions for enhancing their carbon reduction efforts. It's about equipping them with the tool and knowledge to make smart and sustainable decisions.
And these tools have already made a significant impact. For example, last year, we assisted 25 MICE industry players, including PCOs, PEOs, contractors, decorators, and venue providers, in implementing targeted carbon reduction improvements. As a result, we cut totally 148 metric tons of carbon, with an average reduction of 70.17% across these organizations. And Lily, what about the more advanced sustainable practices we have been promoting?
For example, e-paper displays are widely used in Taiwan for reusable content, and we have companies build sustainable booths using recycled cardboard and trusses. These booths, made from unpainted wood, are later donated to school for students to use in woodworking classes. Rosa, what impact do you think these practices are having on this industry?
Yes, I think they are setting a new standard. We are also promoting the use of PTEX, a material made from the recycled PET bottles. which is turned into eco-friendly products like pencil cases and gifts after events. And these initiatives show that sustainability can be both innovative and practical. And okay, last but not least, let's talk about our roadmap.
Our roadmap is a comprehensive plan from 2023 to 2050. With framework from GEMIC, we have adapted to fit local practices, helping our partners effectively implement carbon reduction policies. Rosa, how do you think this roadmap will shape the future?
It's going to be a game changer, actually. As we keep pushing the industry toward these big goals, we are setting the stage for a more sustainable future.
As Nelson Mandela says, it always seems impossible until it's done. As we shared at the very beginning, Meet Taiwan has been working towards the goal for the past decade, and we remain steadfast in our commitment, our journey to net zero.
And we look forward to continuing this journey and see more groups like Meet Taiwan contribute to achieve net zero goals.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Let's keep working together to achieve our net zero goals and set a global standard for sustainability in MICE industry.
Thank you very much, Lily, Rosa, and Jin. I would like to see if there are any questions which you might have. You can of course put them in the chat. I have already two. So one is from Chris Brown, and the question is, how do you avoid double counting with the carbon calculator?
Okay, so about double counting, we cannot completely avoid the issue of double counting. This is a very good question, and it is something we also hope that we can avoid. But I think what we can do is we guide our users clear instructions, okay, to remind them of its proper usage. Okay, so I think this is the thing that we can do right now, but this is a question that is a very good one, and I think this is something we want to avoid too. Yeah, so maybe clear instructions for our users would be a way to avoid.
Chris, I hope this answers for now. You're of course very welcome to follow up either live or in the chat. Otherwise, I would go to the question of Sarah, who is asking whether you have the net zero roadmap report that you can share. Is it published? I suppose Sarah, you're asking about the roadmap. Is it shared, or is it which you can send it to the participants?
We will have the report ready this year, at the end of this year, and we'll have it translated. So if our participants today are interested in it, we will be more than happy to give everybody the English version next year. Yes. All
right. Okay. Thank you.
And we would also like to thank GEMIC for sharing us the roadmap, because it's a framework for us to develop our roadmap.
Yeah, this is a serious topic. Of course, this net zero carbon events roadmap was done for the industry, but also by the industry, of course. I mean, more than 200 industry colleagues from around the world were busy developing this roadmap and really trying to entangle the complexity of our industry. Of course, the business events industry is so fragmented, and I think this is exactly what helped so many stakeholders just even to understand, if I am an organizer, what are my scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions? If I am a venue operator, what is it for me, what I need to take care of? If I'm a service provider, how do I understand my emissions? And so really we hear quite a good feedback from different stakeholders around the world. I have another question from Moot Zulkifli. This is the question about: do you publish any guideline or guidebook under Meet Taiwan for sustainable event measurement criteria and requirement that we can refer to?
Okay, so as we mentioned earlier, we have the white paper we published 2 years ago. So that would be a guidebook, and that is on our official website. So we can send on that to everybody that's interested today. And I would also like to share more about the measurement part, because I think at the end of the day, measurement is the most important thing. So the carbon emission coefficient that we use in the carbon footprint calculator that we just mentioned is derived from the carbon footprint information platform of the Taiwan Environmental Administration and also the CIMA Pro database. So that is about the calculation on reduction part. Yep. So there's two things we refer to. One is the sustainable white paper, okay, and the other part is about measurement. Yes. And I believe there's another question from Sydney, Australia.
Yes. I'm sorry, Keelan, I've missed it indeed. And the question is, how much are you expecting the end clients or even the delegates of events to take on the costs of carbon reduction strategies?
This is also a very, very good question. Because yes, we all know that there are costs that happen when we want to do the carbon reduction part. So for now, we're actually taking a gradual step, okay? For last year and this year, our program under the support of TAITRA, we subsidize in a way to encourage our stakeholders to make carbon reduction measures, okay? So that would be one for now, okay? So that would be like we give them a certain amount of subsidy so they can change their, for instance, their materials for exhibiting materials to PTEX, as we just mentioned, or to carbon. So that would be a part of government support. Yes, but at the end of the day, we know that the business model is very important for everything. That's how it makes it really sustainable. Okay, so we are still trying to find a way to encourage our exhibitors, our stakeholders to accept, okay, about the cost. Okay, so I think that is what we do for now.
And we also need some suggestions from your part because that's a problem we are facing right now. Yeah.
There is a follow-up question, but I think you partly answered it already. And it's what is the basis you use for carbon emission factor in the carbon calculator?
Yes, yes, we answered partial about it, and of course, this issue is a very expertise issue, and we can discuss this more with our. We have our partner, which is ITRI, which is Industrial Research Technology Institute, and. Okay, so about the guidelines and the calculator part, we can provide more information on that later on.
All right. Any more questions from the audience?
And we also share a lot of information about sustainability and carbon reduction on our website. So if you need some information, you can search it from our website.
Absolutely. Maybe for me, for just a question as well. Of course, we see that you guys from Meet Taiwan and TAITRA are doing quite a lot in terms of assisting the companies on the ground to meet their sustainability goals and setting the framework. Out of your own experience and taking a look at the companies on the ground, how far do you think they are in terms of their sustainability strategies, and do you see any major shifts that sustainability is getting even more important, and whether they already implement better strategies than in the past, and what might be still the challenges that they're experiencing?
So it is true because we've been working on this way for more than a decade. Okay, we published our first green guidelines in 2013, and that was a long way to go. So I think about the challenges and is mostly about accepting the idea of our exhibitors or our stakeholders to acknowledge the importance of sustainability of carbon reduction and let them know that it is something that it is our responsibility. It's not because other people want us to do it, your clients want you to do it, but you yourself think that is important. Okay, so I think the first step would be the change of the ideas, the concept. And I think through the past 2 years, we've been really like pushing and working into this. More and more stakeholders, they are more willing to find out about new materials, okay, or new recyclable materials that can be used. And I believe that most of us would also have this feeling that in the past days when we go to exhibitions or go to events, maybe there are a lot of little gifts or pamphlets or like paper-made things or little gifts and made out of plastic or whatever. But for nowadays, these are getting less and less. Yeah. So people get the idea is that if I can get something in electronic version, I wouldn't need a paper version. So that turns out to be like a habit in a way. Yeah. So I think what we're trying to do is gradually slip in this habit and slip in this concept to all these stakeholders and let them know that reducing carbon or making less waste is not as difficult as you think. Okay. It starts by small steps, that's for one thing. And I think the challenge also is just what our participant mentioned is also about the cost, because that is a challenge.
Yeah, and there's one more challenge I want to mention. It's about the source of the suppliers, because when we mentioned that we want our maybe the decorators to provide our more to provide us more sustainable solutions, but they don't know the solutions. They don't know where to find the materials, the suppliers. So maybe this is the problem we are facing right now. So we can also hear some feedback from your side as well. This is another challenge we are facing right now from our maybe PEOs or decorators or our exhibitors part. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Indeed, I mean, I understand, of course, that what you guys are doing is gradually introducing some sort of a change of mindset within the exhibition world and business events in general, and try to move companies into the direction of greener events. You're mentioning a lot the topic of production and waste. Obviously, this is a huge topic for all of us. Besides, of course, travel and accommodation. So I am not sure if we have any participants who would like to add anything in terms of this, any innovative solutions they are working on, how the problematic of production and waste could be addressed and is being addressed. If so, very welcome to come forward. Otherwise, I am very happy to receive additional questions.
We have our partner from E3, Vivi. Okay, she answered a part of the question about the basis on carbon emissions. So most of the carbon emissions coefficient we use right now is derived from the Taiwan Administration of Environmental Protection. Yep, so that's a governmental official institute, so we base our calculations on that. Yes.
Right. Okay. I don't see any further question, guys. So I think so far it looks good. So I think if there are any additional questions, no, there is something. What is the biggest challenges in convincing your stakeholders, for example, PCO, and how you overcome it?
Okay, about convincing stakeholders, it's always about change because we're wanting them to convince them to do things that they're not used to. Okay, so I think that would be one of the biggest challenges is convincing them this per se. Okay, so for our PCOs, for instance, like as we mentioned, cost may sometimes be like a way, but I think from the other side, cost may be an advantage in a way. Like we can tell them that, see, by not producing a lot of boards or reducing the waste, then you can lower your cost, because if you use a LED, if you use a screen, then that way you can reduce the cost. So maybe, you know, it works as a two-way side. So you tell your PCOs that put your information by e-paper, put your information online, and that can reduce the cost for printing and for handouts. So that would be a way to convince them in a way. Yeah.
And through these 2 years promotion, we can see some changes among the PCOs or PEOs and association as well, because we also help our associations to adopt the carbon reduction or sustainability. Yeah, so I think we still can see some changes gradually, but I think education is a long-term issue. We have to do it continuously. Yeah.
So I've done it for 10 years, and then we're doing it for another 10 years to come.
Yeah, in another way, we also encourage like a venue, like venue partners to work with PCO. The venue also started to do the sustainable practice, so they can also help PCO to cooperate to do the sustainability.
Yeah, but one thing I want to mention is that luckily our government really support this part, because they give us a lot of funding, the money. Because, for example, the certifications we mentioned, we obtained more than 36 ISO certifications for the last 10 years, and we all the the government pay everything for these PCOs or venues to obtain these ISO certifications. It's quite a lot. It's quite a big money.
For the first year.
Yes, of course, for the first year.
So it's more like an encouragement thing.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
But they are on their own for next, because they value.
Renew the certification.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think luckily Taiwan government really supports this part. Yeah.
I think government support is very important, especially in the funding support.
Yeah, I think I think what you are mentioning is goes very much in line what we are what we have identified as an initiative as a whole, that it's only through collaboration that we can achieve eco-friendly practices. You've mentioned already, organizers need to work with venues, we need to work with suppliers. Basically, the entire value chain needs to come together and address this topic of sustainability in order to address the climate change collectively. There is a follow-up question on the incentives, for example, monetary incentives provided to the PCOs and PEOs that complied or support your net zero journey. Is there anything in particular you have in Taiwan for this matter?
Okay. Yes, we do. And as we mentioned earlier, it is a partial monetary support. Okay. So because it's not only the government helps, but we also want our stakeholders to know that it is their business too. You know, they have to pay. They have to acknowledge that it is one of their own responsibility also. Yes. So yes, we have monetary provided to our PCO and PEOs.
Yeah, the other way is for the venue, such as our TICC, Taipei International Convention Center. We also provide some discount if the PCO or PEO they use our venue, and we give them some discount on the rental.
Yeah. There is. Chris is raising the topic of the Better Stance initiative for Rethink Hong Kong 2024, aiming to eliminate disposable stands some good progress made, but still challenges with contractors hiding materials in their designs, especially non-local contractors who have less of a connection to the local market, and where cost saving is still the main focus for them to maximize the margin. Thank you, Meet Taiwan team, for your insight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, it is also always about cost in a way. Yeah.
If everything is answered so far, then it's fine. As I've mentioned before, you are of course very welcome to send us questions in case you didn't think of any at this moment. We will still be happy to answer offline via email. It's certainly not a problem. Maybe the Meet Taiwan team would also share some more information about the financial incentives. That's always quite interesting, so that it could serve perhaps as an idea in other regions as well. It will certainly be quite interesting to know more. From our side, thank you so much, everyone, for joining this webinar. We hope that was useful. And as I said, in case of any further questions, do contact us via email. We will certainly be very happy to come back to you bilaterally. Thank you so much to the entire team of Meet Taiwan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.